Welcome to A's Linguistics. This channel is about all things linguistic. So let's see what we've got today.
What is a disfix? Disfix is actually, do you remember in the infix we inserted something in the root, which is like the core, and you shouldn't be able to change it, but in some languages you can actually insert something in the root. But in some other languages you can actually remove something from the root. So the process of removing something from a root is called disfix. So a disfix is a subtractive morpheme. It's a negative morpheme that removes a segment of the root or stem to render the resulting word. Bloomfield, a famous linguist, described the process of disfixation, which he called minus features, through an example from French. Blanc, blanche. Okay? So let me put it here like this. Blanc, masculine. I want to put it blanche, feminine. So in the regular spelling, the feminine has something in addition to the masculine, right? So you see blanc, the same letters here, but you see something extra here. But if you put it in IPA, you would see that the feminine has something more than that one. If you just look at this word, you can say in the feminine, you add something. You add the sh, right? But it's not like that all the time, because you don't always have the same sound. So if you look at the different adjectives, you see that, so in the case of white is blanc, blanche. In the case of frais is frais, fresh. It should work. But then here you have sec and sèche. You have a que. Or in the case of some nouns, you could do the same. You could apply the same process. For example, épouse, feminine spouse, becomes époux, masculine spouse. So you can have two approaches to this. You can say the masculine is the main form, and then you can add a suffix to get the feminine, which some linguists say. But you can go the other way and say the feminine is the main form, and the masculine is applied by deducting the last consonant, which is by disfixing the last consonant. Then that could provide an easier explanation, especially if French is not your native language. But if you want to theorize that you have to add a consonant, then you have to memorize different consonants. But if you take the feminine as the main form, you just drop the last consonant no matter what it is. And the good thing about this approach is you could also say, oh, disfixation also explains some pluralization in French. For example, in certain nouns, you could disfix the final consonant to get the plural. For example, bœuf becomes beau, and œuf, egg, becomes e, and os, bone, becomes o. So in all of these, the principal form is the singular, and you disfix the final consonant and you get the plural. Whether you agree with disfixation of feminines to get the masculine in French, it seems to be accurate in the case of pluralization in French, but there are other languages in which disfixation actually exists. That's the approach. But for example, in the language we talked about before, Muskegean family of languages, in the Alabama language, so in most verbs, the last two segments are dropped from the penultimate syllable of the stem, which is the final syllable of the root. So if the syllable has two segments, the entire syllable will be removed, deleted. For example, the word balaka. So the penultimate syllable is this, lies down, and balka means lie down. So the entire syllable is removed. Or batatli, hits. Batli means repeated. And why do we say it's a disfix? So why don't you say batli is the main form? Because there's actually the root. You see, this is the root. So li is just a suffix. So the root is batat. Chokalika enters, chokaka enters. So here, this is the main form, and the root is this. So this is one disfix. The other disfix is in some verbs. So the final consonant of the penultimate syllable is dropped, but the preceding vowel lengthens to compensate. So, for example, the word salatli means slight, but the word salaali is slight repeatedly. So there's this repeatedly element. So this is the root. This is disfixed. The ta is disfixed, and then you just add to the length. So it's replaced by length, but it adds the semantic element repeatedly. Nuktilifka means choke. Again, this is the root, and then the f is elided. Nuktilika means choke repeatedly.
Thanks for your time and attention, and see you again soon.